Give me something.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So Lamar Jackson, in his second season, the Heisman Trophy winner of 2016, leading the Ravens onto the field. And for Jackson, this may be a free play. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30.
Offside. Defense.
So, of course, they decline that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son. Knows how to play the game so well and plays it with joy.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson, and his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the 1st down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Well, look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 25 carries, 77 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Jackson. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year, and he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21. And he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Fielded about a yard deep.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And some room to work. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he's got Snead. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. These two teams all tied after 1. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Now Jackson caught right side at Snead. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 17-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Later tonight, we have more football, Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Mixon with a first down carry. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown here in this first half. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. It's complete to Snead. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Jackson now. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Throwing again on second down. Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On second down, Mixon. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the toss, Mixon. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now to the air, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get through. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. Here's Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. And Dalton to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this one's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
That's it, baby. We got work.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Another try for Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now here's Ross. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Dalton gives to Bernard. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their back.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He may try and run for this, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Ross on the return. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Mixon. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 69 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to fourth down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence.
On first down, Mixon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle. From the 24, Dalton. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the shot.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Again, it's Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. To throw again on second down. Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
We got this.
Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. The toss play to Mixon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, there it is. After number 5, we were wondering if we would see it, and he has broken the NFL record with his 6th touchdown in this game.
Let's face it, we can go ahead and lose our objectivity here, can't we? And just applaud what we've seen. That's one of the great records in the NFL. Are you talking about this 6 touchdown runs in a game against an NFL defense? I want to run down. Let's go down there and carry him off the field ourselves. We should do that.
Get his autograph after the game. I know that much.
Don't forget, I know you. Selfie. We'll do a selfie.
Oh, yeah, we'll do a selfie. We'll do a group selfie.
There you go.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw is Jackson. Pass incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Jackson, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 47, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Bullet good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, and this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Here's Jackson to throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Once again, they run with Mixon. And some space here. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They toss to Mixon. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars as they match up with the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. There's Nick Foles ready to bring out this Jacksonville offense. Nick was the MVP of Super Bowl 52, of course. Signed the big money deal to take over as a starting quarterback following the 5-year run of Blake Bortles, who wound up in L.A. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
12 yards there and a first down. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Foles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 10. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bengals under first-year head coach Zach Taylor. They'll be brought out by their quarterback, who is now in season number 9 out of TCU, Andy Dalton.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton wide open, receiver complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A toss left, Mixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Mixon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Right here. Go, 368.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Here's Foles. Trying to lay one up deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Check.
Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
Now Joe Mixon. The numbers for Mixon last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. They'll run with Mixon. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Benson Mayowa. That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on third down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it. Second and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should listen to you, partner.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. On 2nd down and 4, Dalton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Dalton's pass complete to Green. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 30. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. John Ross, 30 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Leonard Fournette. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and the Bengals grab it. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll run on first down. Nixon. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
He's got the first down inside the 10. 16 yards, a first down.
Let's go.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Nixon. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Yo. Watch Twist. Watch Twist.
They'll try and run with Nixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Oh, this is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it more, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
Bullet good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. His throw incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. 3rd down here. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw, and he'll get that to Fournette, complete. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Open man is Westbrook, complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come.
They're going to look to throw. That's out to his running back, Fournette. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Mixon with it. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
On 2nd down now, Mixon.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
That one good for 33 and a first.
We got this.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And out of the air, Dalton going for it all. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's say if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Push him back.
Again, it's Mixon. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
I got you. I got you. Check.
Hey. Nice.
On first down, Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Caught Eifert over the middle. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 21st touchdown of the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Fournette. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 40. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Looking to throw. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 32.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. That kick return TD is 98 yards in length as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Mixon with a first down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Nixon. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the run, it's Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 9. Foles. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 22. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now Foles, and able to find Conley. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Here's Foles. Open out on the left side. This is Cole. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Foles. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Foles going to come up now 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Now back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll keep it on the ground. Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Let's go.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. And the Bengals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Passing. It's Dalton. And Alford has it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
matching hundreds. It's the coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and our home team. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
From the 30 on second down, Goff. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down. This is Darrell Henderson, the rookie third-rounder. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah. That just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Throwing on 3rd. Gone. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
We talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and the Rams got him. They bring him down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with 4th down and 1. They run for it with Mixon. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they run with Mixon. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll give it to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now it's gone off the bootleg. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Jordan Evans in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Andy Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The toss play to Mixon. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Anytime you eclipse 100 yards rushing, you deserve the acclaim that comes with it, and he got it. AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
And wasn't up around 200, wasn't a crazy game, but very good, solidly in that driver's seat to win that award, and he did. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And it's 21-3. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives? So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done. Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Goff going to hand it to Gurley.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, tonight. Mike 20. Watch the slip. Mike 50, Mike 50.
3rd and 2. Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a first down. Cooks now in his 2nd season with the Rams. He's had 4 straight years over 1,000 yards. He had 2 with the Saints, 1 with New England, and then he went over 1,000 again last year with the Rams. 80 catches, 1,204 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the toss, Mixon. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
22 yards there, a 1st down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And that one's complete to Gurley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Zerline's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On third down, Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
And now to the air, Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 43.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
This is Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Once again, they run with Mixon. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
93, 44.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, Mixon, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A reminder later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Goff. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Carlos Dunlap. Credit him with his sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Goff now to throw. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Yeah, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will extend this big lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now it's gone. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now Joe Mixon. He's got a 1st down past the 30. A big play there for Cincinnati. 71 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Now Goff. He gets it to Gurley, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Goff on 3rd down. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Again, Goff. They got a man. It's Woods. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams 1st. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A.
Man. These guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run on first down. Bernard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Mixon. They juked him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Again, it's Mixon. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, Kerry. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
To try again after the sack. Dalton. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Value 1.
On first down, gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw, Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The Rams on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Goff. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. Facing this fourth-quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. There he goes, left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bengals, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.